The map module is a simple concept that takes data from one place and puts the data in another place. But in doing so, it collects the data in a structured way in what we call rule sets. And for each one of those rules, it then applies a set of actions in order to make the transformation. So that data that is placed in the target has been transformed in one or multiple ways from its original source. We were asked to solve a problem by one of our customers, and that problem was one whereby they had a set of data that reflected the current state of their subscribers, and they wanted to take that data set and simulate the invoices that would be created for those subscribers from one of their third parties. And the original request was actually to do this as a piece of custom work. But we made the decision, rather than do it as a custom piece of work, to see whether we could implement it in a way that would be useful in other scenarios. And that's how MAP came to be in existence. The map module now is applied to solve many different problems, and they fall into general classification or simulation problems. Two examples I will give. One would be on the simulation, as I've mentioned earlier, is that we would take information about subscribers and use that information in order to simulate invoices. And that might well be taking that set of data and producing invoices relating to activations, monthly recurring charges, termination fees, early termination fees. And from that set of data, you've transformed it to have a now clean set of data that represents what you might expect to be invoiced from your partner. Another example of how we might use this is in classification or revenue classification. These things happen in IFRS reporting, where you must take revenue and categorize it in very specific ways in order to meet the international standards for revenue reporting. And MAP is an ideal tool for performing that particular task, for taking the input set, which are the things that you have sold or are currently selling, and be able to categorize them in the right way, associate them with the right time periods, and make sure that all of the standards are met. The benefit of MAP to the customer is similar to many of our revenue assurance modules, in that it's a particular component that helps save time for the customer. Many of the problems that we're solving with MAP are things that the customer was performing themselves in various ways, usually quite time-consuming methods that they have, things that were not particularly repeatable and prone to error. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to take those tasks and put some structure to them so that they can be performed in a very short amount of time with a lot of consistency, a lot of repeatability, and record and audit all of the tasks that are associated with it. And that's really the main benefit that we have achieved here. And it's worth saying that MAP has far exceeded our expectations. We mentioned before that I implemented it as a solution to one specific challenge that the customer posed to us, and that was deployed. And that same customer now has more than 10 implementations of the MAP module doing different things of categorization and simulation.